You're watching CKVR Television.
Tonight on the Late Report, the latest plans for Orillia policing, disturbing video evidence at the Bernardo trial, and in sports, the Skins need one win for gold.
CKVR Total News with Shereen Mansour, Bob McIntyre with weather, and Kevin Quinn on sports. CKVR, the Late Report.
Good evening. Consider it the on-again, off-again debate. In Orillia, a cost-effective move to replace the local police service with the OPP has been cause for many heated debates and many questions. As Shane Foxman reports, tonight many think this debate has gone on long enough.
Thank you. Hello. Would you like a button, madam?
Those opposed to replacing the Orillia police force with the OPP took to the streets Thursday night. They are trying to convince other residents that bringing in the OPP is a big mistake.
And they're saying right now these guys are going to stay living in this city. That isn't going to always be true. The OPP, as you know, it could be Wawa today or Toronto. These guys are rooted in our community. They're volunteers in our community in baseball, soccer, lacrosse. Let's keep them here.
Inside the Orillia Opera House, a public meeting is being held. It's the third such meeting to discuss the police issue. The OPP says it can save the city of Orillia more than $800,000 a year. The acting police chief offered City Council an alternative back in April. His plan would save taxpayers about $400,000.
I've had very favorable response, both from the citizens and the staff within the Orillia Police Service.
The debate over who should patrol Orillia's streets has been going on for more than 2 years, and it has taken its toll on Orillia's finest.
It is very tough. It's very frustrating. All the officers are wanting this thing to get ended. They want a decision made. They want to get on with policing the city of Orillia, and obviously we can't until this thing's put out of the way.
By all means, it's taken too long, but there is a protocol that has to be followed, and it's nothing in government moves too quickly, and it's unfortunate because they have been under strain and pressure as a result of this.
A final decision on the future of Orillia's police service will be made sometime in July. Regardless of which option those involved prefer, they all do agree on one thing. This debate has gone on for far too long. In Orillia, Shane Foxman, Total News.
Up the highway tonight in Midland, a special visit from Federal Finance Minister Paul Martin. Tonight, he reassured voters the government is watching the deficit.
The fundamental issue to the country is for a very modern vision of where liberalism is going and what the economy is doing. We'd like to laminate these. They had a call from the Prime Minister, and I missed him. And he said, now, Paul, he said 1993, is a full member of...
Martin also took the time to give Lynn McLeod and the provincial leaders a boost during his speech to the group. Martin says a Liberal government in Ontario would mean a better federal-provincial relationship for the province. Meantime, earlier today, the finance minister made a visit here to the grand opening of Midland's Industrial Research and Development Institute. It's a boost for Canadian business. 230 companies will share the technology for the tool, die, and molding industries, and this should help them compete worldwide. Well, from the election race tonight, you can probably expect this race to get a little nastier now.
Good. What do you think about workfare?
A handful of demonstrators in Kingston gave the Liberal leader an opportunity to explain her welfare reform. Balance is the key word McLeod uses to describe her plan and a strategy to discredit the Tory platform.
Liberal plans and a radical conservative revolution.
And to business people in Toronto this morning, she delivered an identical speech claiming a Harris government would threaten health care. A noisy protest today for Mike Harris in Ottawa, many from labor unions. Harris delivered his usual message: cut taxes, cut spending, reform health care. Earlier, he talked about the volatile issue of abortion.
My only concern with the freestanding abortion clinics is if the abortion isn't performed, they don't get paid. And that we would prefer to see more balance in counseling before a woman has to make that difficult decision.
Staff at the Morgentaler abortion clinic say Harris is misinformed. They say every woman receives counseling on all the options available to her before an abortion takes place. In Northern Ontario today, a smiling Bob Rae, the Premier, is still trying to convince voters to question the tax-cutting agendas of the other political leaders.
People don't believe in the tax cut promises. They don't. But they're going to vote for the guys anyway because they know they're not going to keep their promises, so they're not worried about it. This is not smart.
Today, the Rae campaign moved into a new phase. New television ads are designed to scare the voters and bring them back to the NDP. Overall, NDP candidates say they are feeling more and more confident. Well, it was perhaps the most difficult day yet in a Toronto courtroom. Today, 2 explicit videos were shown to the entire courtroom. The families of the victims subsequently left, to be soon followed by many of the observers. If there are children in the room, you may want to have them leave, and we warn you, while you will not see the videos themselves, they may be difficult to listen to.
Even though the video did not involve their daughters, the French and Mahaffey families rose from their seats and left the courtroom. The remaining spectators were warned by the judge. The video evidence would be graphic and would be played on the public monitors. The video was shot in the Homolka home, weeks after Carla's sister Tammy died. She'd apparently been drugged and sexually assaulted by Paul and Carla. The Crown has described the assault as crucial to understanding Paul and Carla's relationship, how he allegedly controlled her, and how the couple fantasized about abducting and assaulting little girls. The video shows Paul and Carla lying in front of a fireplace. They are engaged in oral sex. The dialogue is repulsive. The references to Tammy's death, shocking. Carla talks about enjoying their assault on Tammy. As if following a script, she calls Bernardo the king and talks about finding him 13-year-old virgins. Will you help me get them, Paul asks. Uh-huh, Carla answers. Go in the car with you if you want, or I'll stay here and I'll clean up afterwards. I want you to be happy. You're the king. It's great to be the king, Paul says to the camera lens. When the tape ended, at least half the courtroom spectators left.
I thought it was pretty disgusting, actually.
What did you expect?
Very disgusting.
Well, I watched it, and then they decided to play the tape again, and I said, that's enough.
Judging from today, I won't be back. But it was one of the most disgusting things I've seen in my life.
Later during the video, the couple is seen in Tammy's upstairs bedroom. Carla is pretending to be her little sister. She and Paul engage in sexual acts. He says, "I love you, Tammy," while holding a photo of the dead teenager.
That report from Colleen McEdwards. In other news tonight, a bright light in the construction industry. Jobs are on the rise, but the feds say it's thanks to them. Meredith Gardner has more.
The sound of crane swinging is music to the ears of construction workers in the Barrie area. Local contractors say a few big projects underway have put more people back on the job than there has been in almost 4 years.
We have the hospital going on, the library has been awarded, the arena down for Barrie is on the go, different schools have been awarded, and it's really, really excellent for the members up in this area right now.
$121 million is being pumped in to build the new RVH hospital in Barrie. Nearby Georgian College will also receive $15 million in upgrades, and the Simcoe school system plans to spend $16.7 million on construction. That news is welcome to a workforce that saw 2/3 of its members unemployed in 1992.
I've been out of work for about a year, and the last job was OPP in Orillia. And, well, it looks pretty good here. It's just a matter of time, I guess, when they're going to get everybody back to work.
It's estimated close to 40% of the current construction work has been generated by government spending. Industry insiders are wary that the current recovery may only be a bubble floated by the millions spent on infrastructure.
The whole industry is noticing a bit of a lull in the market. I think we have pre-election situations going on right now, and after June the 8th, I think we'll see the market back, and it's a knock on doors sort of market. We have to get out and get the business nowadays. So,
even if infrastructure spending does slow down, there are several optimistic signs for the local construction industry. Downtown Barrie will get several new retail stores, and sales have begun on projects to build 1,200 new homes in the area. In Barrie, Meredith Gardner, Total News.
And construction jobs on track near Bradford, but here residents say it's time to stop working. They say a planned highway bypass means the destruction of a wetland. The bypasses would join Highway 400 to the 404.
Well, government has identified this as being one of the most environmentally sensitive areas in southern Ontario. It's classified as an ESA. There's Class 1 wetlands all around us, and it's a floodplain. There are some 50 rare species of vegetation here that's nowhere else in the province.
The Ministry of Transportation has refused to comment, but says it is determined to build on this land. Well, something else doing damage these days, gypsy moths. They are back again and eating their way through 35,000 hectares of Simcoe County trees. But if you are worried about your foliage, the experts say don't panic yet. Bill Fletcher explains.
2 days ago, Don McNeil was putting in bedding plants on his back porch. That's when he noticed some small insects in the dirt.
I was pretty sure they were the gypsy moth, and at that time there was only a few of them when I first spotted them, and got concerned over it, so I phoned up the Minister of Resources, who put me onto the Ministry of Agriculture, who asked for a sample, so I took them down, a sample down there.
The samples turned out to be gypsy moth. This is what they look like fully grown. Hard hit by the moths 4 years ago, McNeil put towels sprayed with insecticide around his main backyard trees as a precaution. However, county officials say there's nothing to worry about.
Well, gypsy moth is relatively new to Ontario. We've had them here since about 1980. We haven't had them long enough to figure out how they would cycle, but 1992 they crashed, and the numbers in southern Ontario have been low ever since. And to date, there's no indication of that number increasing.
Simcoe County officials say if there were any reason for concern, we would see white or brown egg masses on the trunks of trees. No evidence of that here in this yard. Although we did have great numbers of gypsy moths in central Ontario in 1991, it's not expected gypsy moths will return in a big way, at least for another few years. In Springwater Township near Barrie, Bill Fletcher, Total News.
Those things can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, you know what you do? Just go take that little pile of brown goo that you see, just take it right off of your finger or whatever you want, or stick, whatever, just put it down the ground and crush it.
And that'll do it?
It's done. It's finished. Organic. It works.
Perfect.
Yeah. Speaking of perfect,
today was perfect.
That was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's have a look outside our CKVR studios right now. And I'm not sure you can actually see it raining there, but it is on our live Harper Tire Mr. Tower Cam shot. It is currently raining right outside our studio. Temperature right now, look at this, 17 or 63, and here it is, almost midnight or so. And humidity sitting at 73%. Winds are light for the most part, and the barometric pressure steady. Complete details on all your weather coming up a little later in the news.
Thanks, Bob. Well, car buffs love this time of year. Once again, the annual Oro Auto Flea Market kicked off today.
It costs $4.25 to get in. That's a whole day's entertainment. It starts at 7 in the morning and goes till dark. The vendors this year are greater, bigger. They've got more toys than Carter has pills.
The auto flea market runs right until Sunday. If you are interested in going, take Highway 11 northbound and make a right at the 8th line of Oro. For more news up next on the Late Report. Then later in the show, what to do with a sick kangaroo. We'll visit an Aussie daycare center as the Late Report continues.
Here's the secret to great tasting pie. Carol Chudley, professional baker.
It's called Crisco's no-fail pastry recipe. The dough is easy to handle, and it bakes up light and flaky.
Delicious. Cooks who know trust Crisco.
For today's hardworking pro in the welding industry, Praxair offers the Purchase Assistance Program with no down payment, no interest, and no payment until November on the new Lincoln Weld Pack 100 MIG unit with gasless wire, the SP125 and 170T, including gas and cylinder leaks, the Wirematic 255 and the 225 AC utility welder. You find the project, we'll set you up with no down payment, no interest, and no payment until November, only at your local Praxair retail store. 1-800-451-2444.
If you have a driving passion, meet your soulmate, the completely redesigned Eagle Talon. Now, during the Eagle Spring Seduction Sale, get a Talon ESI with 2-liter, 16-valve, double overhead cam, 140 horsepower engine, air conditioning, 4-wheel multi-link suspension, 4-wheel disc brakes, and more for just $20,488. Once you've driven the all-new Talon, your feet won't touch the ground. Only at your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
When you require both strength and softness, Scott Paper products are hard to beat. Looking for the best buys on White Swan 8-roll bathroom tissue? Herbie's has what you need with the lowest prices every day.
Hi folks, Bud Bryce here to show you some of my pictures of our solid, handcrafted pine and oak furniture, made in Ontario by Mennonite craftsmen. Bryce's have 75 Mennonite families building handmade, top-quality pine and oak furniture at reasonable prices, and we do custom work. Drop by one of our 3 locations and get top value for your dollar.
For Canadian handmade pine and oak furniture, shop at Bryce's, where you'll always leave satisfied.
In northeastern Alberta, brush fires continue to ravage acres and acres of land. The fires are so bad that the town of Fort McMurray remains cut off from the rest of the province.
Man, I'll tell you, that's one scary fire.
A sprinkling of rain last night failed to reach the bone-dry regions. Residents of Fort McMurray awoke this morning to smoke billowing from a massive blaze about 80 kilometers away. 1,000 people have been forced to flee their homes as firefighters battle 100 blazes. In world news this hour, the situation grows even more tense in Bosnia. Today, word of another hostage-taking, this time, though, a civilian working for the United Nations. At this point, the Serbs are holding about 400 peacekeepers hostage. 55 of them are Canadians. They are not in immediate danger, but it is not certain if they can get out.
Not immediately. I think it would take some time to mount an operation of that nature. We do have some assets that could be used, but whether we could achieve the necessary removal in the space of time necessary to safeguard all of them, I just wonder.
Meantime, Canada is working on a system to replace the detainees with volunteers. Today, Defense Minister David Collinett said the government is heartened by the number of soldiers who have volunteered to replace their fellow peacekeepers. But the situation in Bosnia is still troubling for those affected here at home. Today, we spoke with one soldier at CFB Borden who will soon be on his way back to the troubled region. Master Corporal Clarence Ray has served 20 years in the UN as a postal clerk, but he says Bosnia is the most dangerous assignment yet, a fact his wife Dinah can attest to.
It's obvious I'm very concerned. I know my husband isn't on the front lines, but anything is possible because he makes the regular routes to the airport, which most of the activity is going on as well. And knowing that he has told me of reports of his life being endangered, of course my concerns are, you know, what are the possibilities he may be the next hostage.
Ray returns to Bosnia this Sunday to serve 4 more months of peacekeeping. Is it time for another bet?
No, it's not time for another bet.
Okay, we'll save it for tomorrow, Friday. Every Friday we'll make a bet for Saturday. Bob and I have this new thing going on where we're betting as to the high for the next day and how close he comes to it. But you're pretty accurate, you know.
Well, not bad.
Yeah.
I got smoked last week for $20, though.
Oh, that was a little high. Maybe we'll turn it into pennies next time.
Well, I didn't pay you off in that. It was fun watching you go to your car, huh? You were kind of listening to one side.
We had a great day today.
This was lovely. Yeah. I loved every second of it. We have a nice little thing out in our garden. If you were with us at 6 o'clock tonight, in the garden we have a little tiny flower called coral bells. And they kind of go up like this, and they have these little tubey-type flowers on them.
Right.
And we have a ruby-throated hummingbird coming to those, and we're hoping that in the next several days we'll be able to catch it on tape. We'll show everybody this little bird. It is marvelous. Just flies like a bullet. Let's have a look at some temperatures now and the rest of the goodies. And a high-pressure system just to the west of us is going to bring us some nice skies later on tomorrow. As a matter of fact, tomorrow might not turn out to be too bad a day at all. We had originally thought there were going to be a fair amount of showers around, but it looks like this cold front is going to be further south, as you can see here now, and as a result of that, it looks like we might be just getting away from some more rain that we didn't think was actually going to happen anyway, but we're glad to see that the cold front's going up. Low pressure system sitting here continues to move this way. This continues to run along. It's also running up at the same time, but these two pieces of the puzzle are coming in. Look out west here. It's still going to be 30 degrees in Regina tomorrow. It's going to be a cool, or a nice warm day, cool day. I'll be all right. And then on 36 down in Phoenix, 32 in Dallas, 24 in Chicago. So temperatures tomorrow in our neighborhood are going to be nice too, around 24, 23 degrees. Here's the rest of the forecast. Looks like this. Perry Sound, as you can see, 23. Maybe a couple of sprinkles. I just kind of back off on those. Look for more sunshine than you will ever sprinkles tomorrow, okay? Although any kind of heat that comes along may start off a little thunderstorm. Sunrise tomorrow is going to be 5:37, sets at 8:59, 15 hours and 23 minutes of some sunshine tomorrow, and we're going to get a chance to see that. On the UV index, when it's out, it's 7.9. It's going to be high. Please do be careful. On our Harper Tire Michelin Tower Cam now, once again, here's a pretty shot. I like this shot. Is that not a good shot? Yes, indeedy. Nice farm. Nice hazy sky. Man, you could tell this is a summer picture. Tonight, looks like this. Perry Sound, Muskoka, Haliburton. Overnight lows around 12 degrees. Possibility of a sprinkle in the North Country, probably not going to happen. Dufferin, Huronia, York region. Yes, we're already having some sprinkles around. Not going to necessarily last very long. 12 and 13. Tomorrow, we show some showers and thunderstorms in the North Country. Probably not going to happen. Temperatures around 23 degrees. Dufferin, Huronia, York region. Yeah, I'd put more sunshine in there than what you see on the screen, 23. The rest of the week looks like this, heading into Saturday. Nice day on Saturday. Yeah, I know you see a thunderstorm there. I would probably write that off at the moment, although there's a chance that it might happen. Sunday, 23 degrees. Monday, 23 degrees, and fair skies both those days. Some of my favorite places, Ashworth, Bonnie Beach, North River, and Roseville. A chance of a shower or a thunderstorm, probably more sunshine than anything. And in Plymouth, Massachusetts, 28 or 82. And now, here's what's on.
The Blue Light Summer Calendar is brought to you by Blue Light.
If you're a fan of 70s classic style rock, listen up to this week's live entertainment guide because we've got lots that you'll want to see. The best part of the Canoe the Nonquin race on at Port Perry this weekend is there's lots of categories, so you don't have to get stuck racing against anyone who's serious about winning. Register between 7 and 9 Friday night or 7 and 9 Saturday morning for $20 at the Lasham Center. Lonely guys take note. Here's a great way to meet girls. Go borrow a cute puppy and enter the Walk a Petathon in Barrie Sunday. It's 5K from Centennial Park. They'll be kicking up their heels all weekend in Orillia at a dance weekend. This will be good old-fashioned do-si-do square dancing. It's just about non-stop, but call 705-326-4318 for exact times. The fundraiser at the Rocks will be a great excuse to get out Friday night. And Sunday night, as always, it will be Rans that's rocking with the Prince of Soul, George Oliver. That's the live entertainment guide.
And heading through the day tomorrow, looks like we'll have a little bit of sunshine, maybe a sprinkle or two.
I don't think we should go to work tomorrow.
No.
Kevin has been working for about 15 hours now, but
yeah, boy,
bear with us.
Started early with a, yeah, I know Bob got all dressed up for my sportscast there. Thanks a lot.
This is the in way of dressing.
All right.
You can
old-time, old-fashioned sports guys.
Yeah, that's the way we like it. And it was old-time hockey tonight down at the Joe Louis Arena. The Red Wings and the Blackhawks. Original Six stuff when we come back.
Well, look at that. Surrounded by water. Well, here I am at Georgian Bay, and you know, I'm reminded of light beer. Maybe that's because most light beers are so darn watery, you could almost go sailing on them. That's what's different about Blue Light. Sure, it's crisp, it's clean, it's refreshing tasting, but it tastes like a beer, not like a lake, like a beer. If I wanted water, I just asked for water. I'd ask for it. No thanks. Sit.
Think healthier looking, shinier hair like this only happens in the movies? Nah, it can happen every day with Pantene Pro V. Pantene gets right to the root where healthier looking hair begins.
Kirsty's hair wasn't always so glamorous until she found Pantene. Pro vitamins penetrate into the root, while our conditioning formula improves hair all the way to the tips.
Hair this good deserves a close-up.
Pantene Pro V shampoo and conditioner. For hair so healthy looking, it shines.
Pro vitamins. I know they're in there.
I want an antiperspirant that's strong enough for any man's body, because if it can stand up to them, I know it's going to work for me. My antiperspirant has one of the most effective ingredients you can get, I use Secret. Strong enough for a man, but pH balanced for a woman.
Out on the ice, I don't score points for how my hair looks. But after the game, in front of the press, and the cameras are just inches away, and millions of fans are watching, my hair has to look great, and great hair can't have flakes. No way. So I get rid of them with Head & Shoulders. It keeps my dandruff in check, and my hair looking great. Hey, you can't hide under a helmet all the time.
Head & Shoulders, every day.
With great hair, can't have flakes.
The major kart race in Canada is back. The Barrie Grand Prix will take over the city's spectacular waterfront June 16th, 17th, and 18th. The CKVR summertime team will be there for the excitement. Hope to see you.
Well, I have to admit, I don't really follow after the Leafs were out of the whole
you're not
thing.
alone.
Yeah.
You're really not alone, but this, you know, this is, like we said, original six hockey, and it was pretty boring tonight. But anyway, who will win the West? The Chicago Blackhawks or the Detroit Red Wings? One of these original six clubs is going to the Stanley Cup final. The answering of the question of which one began tonight at the Joe Louis Arena. Game 1 in Detroit. The only goal of the first comes with Chicago on the power play. Jeremy Roenick is stopped, but Joe Murphy's there for the rebound. He beats Mike Vernon. It's 1-0 Blackhawks after 20 minutes. In the second period, the Red Wings come back just 2.5 minutes into the period. Keith Primo flicks a one-handed shot by Eddie Belfour. It's 1-1, and the Octopi begin to fly as the Detroit fans litter the ice with calamari. Closing minutes of the period, Tim Taylor comes close but rattles it off the goalpost. Still tied at 1 in the third. Chicago has a great chance to score, but it goes off the post. We're going to overtime. Just a minute 1 into sudden death. Nicholas Lindstrom will end it off the faceoff. His blast finds net, and the Red Wings win it in OT. Not many goals, not many shots. 24-14 in favor of Detroit. They draw first blood. Game 2 Sunday afternoon at the Joe Louis Arena. You'll see it right here on CKVR. The Barrie Central Redskins can win their second straight Ontario High School Rugby Championship tomorrow. Today, the Redskins qualified with a big win over Cedarbrae from Scarborough. Kevin Marks has the highlights.
Much like the Georgian Bay final last Friday, Central had the wind with them in the first half, and they took advantage of it right off the bat. They get things going here. Catch the great fake by fly half Jason Verstraeten. Then he gets the ball out to winger Eric Duvenverden, who takes the ball right around and down it in the perfect position under the posts for the first try of the game. A little later, some good work out of a scrum. Andrew Carter comes up with the ball, turns around, and just takes off through a bewildered Cedarbrae defense. He, too, takes it into perfect position when he gets the touch. Redskins just kept rolling along with the offense in the first half, built a 21-0 lead, a lead they clung to tenaciously in the second half when the Scarborough School threatened many times, but that was the final score, 21-0, and they earn a berth in tomorrow's final.
We played extremely well the first half, and I think the combination of the heat plus we're up by 21 points, we didn't quite attack quite as much in the second half like we would have, but we defended extremely well, so I'm satisfied with the game.
Down here, the teams are extremely competitive, and you got to get on them right away, get the momentum down on them, and just keep pounding, and then it's 20-minute half, so you got to get on them right away.
The wind was kind of pushing us pretty bad, and they had a nice kicker, so it was nice because we didn't have the pressure of trying to have to play as much offense as we had to.
So Barrie Central will face the top-ranked Brantford club tomorrow, 1 p.m. start here at Fletcher's Fields in Markham, a rare opportunity for Central to repeat as the province's top high school rugby team. At Fletcher's Fields in Markham, Kevin Marks, Total News.
Basketball news, the Western Conference Finals have been good for the road teams. San Antonio hoping that trend continued tonight in Houston, but the Rockets had other plans. They eliminate the Spurs in 6 games. San Antonio feeling the heat. Dennis Rodman almost puts it in his own basket. Everyone under pressure tonight, even the Rockets mascot who blows the sky slam that could have really hurt. Now it was 21 all after the first quarter. More of the same in the second. Sam Cassell for Houston. Chuck Person going the other way. This one was tied 44-44 at the half. In the second half, though, the Rockets center Hakeem Olajuwon takes over. He scored 39 points and pulled down 17 rebounds in this game. The Houston Rockets are going to the NBA Final again. They eliminate San Antonio 4-2, 195. The final tonight. Houston plays the winner of the Magic Indiana Pacers series for all the marbles. Montreal Expos are tied for second in the National League East with Atlanta. This afternoon, the Braves lost to Los Angeles, while the Expos' Carlos Perez won for the 5th time in as many starts. Montreal beating St. Louis at the Big O. Moises Alou had a big day. This is one of his 3 hits. It turns into an RBI double. Perez lowered his ERA to a National League leading 1.54, doing the strikeout dance. Tony Tarasco rips this Alan Watson pitch to left, ends up on third with a triple. No throw at all. Tim Laker will bring him home on a fielder's choice. It was 3-0 for the Expos after 3 innings. In the 4th, Perez helps himself, goes the opposite way with this pitch. Laker will come around to score. Perez winds up on third as he gets on his horse. He's got himself a triple. Montreal goes on to a 6-2 win. Expos and Braves 5 games back of the Phillies. The Blue Jays had the day off. They open a weekend series tomorrow in Cleveland, or I guess I should say tonight, given the time. The front office, though, was busy today with the amateur draft. The Jays taking Colorado High School pitcher Ron Halladay, a right-hander. The California Angels used the #1 pick overall to take Nebraska Cornhusker Darren Estrad. 57 games this year. The 20-year-old batted .410 with 19 home runs and 76 runs batted in. Estrad was also the punter for the NCAA champion Cornhusker football team. So, Shireen, that is a well-rounded athlete.
Sounds good.
Yes, I'm done.
And you stayed awake through the whole thing. Kevin is finished. Bob.
I certainly am.
Bob has to wake up.
Kevin is finished. Tomorrow morning, you may see some sprinkles around. There's also going to be some sunshine at 7:30, 16 or 61 degrees by that time, and southerly winds around 10 kilometers an hour. Now back to the desk.
And finally tonight, daycare is every parent's biggest problem. Where to send them, which one is the best, how much it will cost, and what about all the viruses they'll pick up? Well, in Australia, one woman has started her own daycare, but you can't get in unless you are a marsupial. The best part about these babies is...
Oh, here we go.
is how easily they will fit in a bunting bag. And if you find one that is just right, for some of these little guys, these seem... Okay, stop laughing, both of you.
We promise.
There we go.
They seem very familiar. Feeding time is pretty universal, though, and apparently this woman brings them back to health and sets them out free again.
All right. Good use for those shopping bags.
If these two would just stop laughing, we're out of time. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.
Blame it on us.
Yeah, that's for sure.